Today we will be seeing a game between Jan and Bhurta from Battle Tuesday, and Jan sacrificed the pawn as early on as the move 6, which you can see in the board already. So let's begin. Let's see how the game starts. Jan is playing white, so he opens up the game with 1 e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. Then you can choose bishop b5, which is a Rossolimo, and Jan plays that g6, castles, bishop d7. This system has been played by many world champions as well, so it's a very interesting line. And after rook e1, e5, here you can choose c3, d4, but Jan says no such thing. I will go b4, sacrificing a pawn early on. You can take with the pawn, but then you will lose d4 square. So black takes with the knight on b4, and after c3, knight c6. The goal is to get d4 as early on and exploit this light dark space. So c takes d4, e takes d4, and bishop a3. It makes black's life a bit difficult, like you are unable to castle early on. So knight e7 comes so that black can castle bishop d6. Now, if you had played something like knight d2, then black might have the option to go d6. So this is why first bishop d6. So now you cannot go d6 and it will take time to develop these pieces. Castles, knight b2 so the knight can come to c4 and the rook can come to open c5, a6, bishop f1, b5, knight b3, rook e8 and rook c1. Now Jan will try to explore this c5 square and maybe a4 after that to attack this pawn on a6. So bishop d7 comes knight c5, knight c8, and bishop d3, keeping more pieces on the board. And black plays rook a7, defending this bishop. So you can, after knight c5, you can try to take this one, but the point is that you will be hanging up like this. Like this knight has no square to go, and your bishop is hanging as well. So after bishop d3, queen b7, you have lost like your very good knight for the bishop that wasn't doing much, which is why Jan did not go for that. Instead, he plays bishop g3, and after that, rook a7 defending this bishop, e5, thus taking more spatial control, d5, d6, and f6 squares, because now whenever you will play this, there will be it is d6, and these pawns can become a problematic point for you. Yes, you can try this, but after takes and takes, the compensation should be more than enough. And I think you are already crossing through after takes and takes. Like this is a tactic that take picks up this c6 guy. So that is why this e5 is a very strong move. E5 is very strong. So bishop a8 comes, and after a4, now Jan tries to attack this a6 pawn, b4, bishop takes a6, d6, e takes d6. Now, see by moving the bishop from b7 to a8, now the same tactic will no longer work, which is why he can take. Like had the bishop been on b7, you could have taken a fade by first eliminating this knight, but now you can't. So bishop b5 comes. Now again, white is threatening the same thing. Like if h6, then he will take on d6, and after queen takes d6, queen e8 check and c6 will be winning in many positions. So there are some tricks like that, like king here, then knight e4 attacking this queen and taking this bishop next. So it's a very tricky position. That's why rook e7 comes, and after queen d2, knight f5, because we don't want any bishop h4 in the later on games. So knight d3 and knight a7. Queen takes b4, bishop takes f3, ruling pawn structure of white, and queen a attacking this pawn. But Jan says you can have it. I will start piling up on this weak f7 square. So queen takes f3, which is a blunder. And after queen check, bishop moves back, and then knight e5, attacking this pawn, and Jan will win an exchange. And after an exchange, he just finishes off the game in almost 10 to 12 moves more. So queen e4, knight takes f7, queen takes a7, an important move. And now Jan is threatening to take f7 with queen. So that would give him a rook, free rook. So bishop e7 blockading, like making a bridge or a like barricade. So that's why queen d7 comes, threatening queen e8, king d, king g7, bishop takes f7, king takes f7. And now the goal is to trade this knight for this bishop, queen for the queen, and this possibly win with the game. So Jan starts with queen c6, trading this queen, trying to queen g4, and after rook e1, threatening queen e6, checks and all the stuff. h5 comes queen e4 and h4. So that now h4 cannot go. Black cannot play h4 himself. So h4 comes and queen d5, a5, trying to make a new queen. Knight takes h4 and here after a6, it's close to winning. Close winning after if he won the game, but it's close to its climax now. So bishop c5 comes threatening some sort of d3 and attacks on f2. But after a very powerful move, rook e5, bishop a7, and queen e4. Black has to trade queens because if he tries to keep the queens on the board, then after rook e7 he's going to lose this bishop as well. So that is why queen takes e4, rook takes e4, king takes and rook here. A powerful rook and game move because now the king cannot join the e file in any way and white plan is simple. King e king f1, king e1, and king d2, king a8. So d3 comes king f1 and black resigns because there is no way he can stop that and another threat is to come up like this one. This I think rook a8 would be more prolong the game because then whenever the bishop will move after a7 you have to find a check. So maybe a better way would have been to come like this to attack this bishop. Sorry with my arrows to attack this bishop and then get a7 through. So a master class by Jan who taught us that you can sacrifice a pawn as early on as move 6 and yet get a very promising position and make trouble for your opponent. I hope you like this video. Please like and comment and reply to my comment because I would be uh, putting up a comment where I'm asking question like how black could have played much better or a better try from the black side and please like and subscribe and if you want to see another video of sacrificing this time not the pawn but two rooks, then I will put the description in the description the link of Khan's Neiman versus Duda where Khan sacrificed both rooks to deliver a crushing attack. Thank you. See you soon.